Welcome to House Common Blood, where strangers are family. Every episode contains graphic content, including, but not limited to, copious amounts of blood, unnecessary cursing, death of all ages, be they infants or mortals, fantasy drug use, nudity, mentions of sex, and sound effects of various qualities. Cannot stress enough that this is mature content with adult themes. You have been warned. Anyone got a light?
All right. Welcome to House Comblood. I'm Gray, your DM and host. We're a D&D 5.5e podcast, currently playing the adventure Hangman Worms of Frostheart. This story follows a group of misfits facing sentient calamities threatening to destroy the world, led by a Genasi army called the Rebirth Bastion. Most of the monsters I use are created by Oh Hi Mark. You can support his Patreon, although everything he makes is free. The music in our games is curated by D&D Breakfast Club on YouTube with credit to each respective artist. I'm joined here today by Mega.
Hello, I am Mega and I play Eddie, the Autoboy Triton Bastard class. And that's it.
As well as Nita.
Hello! Nita here. I play Aaliyah Oblak, the Human Cleric Sorcerer.
As well as Recusant.
Hello, I am Recusant. I play Mavet Sohafidash, the sap that holds his family together.
As well as Moomin.
Hello, my name Moomin. I play Person on Fire, Seer, Artificer Alchemist.
And finally, Tyler.
Hello, one and all. I am Tyler of Laggy of Laggington. I play Gumo, the reborn bard. Dance bard. Yay.
We don't actually get to see you dance. You gotta fix that, buddy.
What are you talking about? He's very proficient at the horizontal tango.
It's really weird that he's doing it by himself, though. It's supposed to be
Say-
fantasy, Tyler. All right. So,
Him going horizontal.
you can tell me what the hell happened last session.
Money?
Yeah, there's always money.
I
Because
like
you
money.
always need a prize.
That is a lie.
That's a lie. You're right,
He
I'm
likes to
sorry.
keep his players poor, the capitalist.
I'll go. It wasn't like too crazy last session. We move forward with our plan to go to the fort. As we're going through, Aluya sees something. I think they're specs of some sort. She couldn't really discern what they were, even with a potion from Seer. Eddie and Gumo have their small get-to-know-you chat, which really doesn't go anywhere, and Seer and Aluya kind of talk more about their homes and maybe getting a chance to, well, mostly Aluya's home, give a tour. Kamalu paints Gumo and Aluya. He says, "Fuck you, Mavet, do it your damn self." Mavet It's got some zebra stripes. Uh, we were resting at that point. We move along. We come across geysers, and the party notices a pyre worm, and Seer goes to investigate, and the worm has some sort of shark bite. Seer knows that these bites are from the bullet, but the bites seem bigger. The creature seems to be growing, so now this thing is an issue. So we decided, which way should we go, to the fort or deal with the bullet. We decide to do both and still have enough time to do everything. So now we move to the fort at the speed of wind from Gumo's spell, and the Chaos crew moves to go towards the obelisk. But before we get to them, it's Camelou, Eddie, and Seer. No, not Camelou. Bjorn. There we go. Bjorn. Bjorn knocks. He talks to his giant homie. They go in. They hear the Jarl. He's talking his shit about giant supremacy. I think he wants Bjorn to kill Seer and Eddie, but that's where we pretty much left off.
It left off with the Jarl wondering if Bjorn has gone soft, and he asked the two giants approaching your party members to test their mettle. And again, you don't know how royal the there is, if it's just referring to one person or many.
Have fun with that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. That's excellent.
Money, please.
Yeah, give yourself 3d10, you greedy, greedy hoe.
3d10. Here we
But I don't
go.
want to hear that from you, Gray.
It's fine, I'm used to saying it.
No, I mean, you're the greediest one here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hooray!
Yeah, hooray. Alright. So, let's switch up the music. And which group should I focus on? So, let me clarify a few details. Rakusan, what are you actually fucking doing? Are you galloping in the air above a fort as a cloud?
Yeah,
Of course.
basically.
Is there any actual intentions that you have as a player of what you're trying to accomplish here, or are you just going to be fucking around while everybody else is doing shit?
That was like a great way to put it. Yeah, I'm just letting the party take the reins and do stuff while I can chill out in the background.
Okay. Okay. I just want to say I gave you 2 outs. Alright. But there is still there is still function for you being up there. Like, just remind me, because you have a clear view of the exterior, like any place with open areas, the watchtowers. You see guard patrols. That is information I can give to you, although I can't give you anything specific, because as a reminder, the only action, if I'm remembering correctly, the only action you can take is dash action. So, you can't search, you can't do a lot of the typical actions that you would have in your normal form. At least that's the way I'm perceiving it, and that's the way I'm going to be running it for now. Let's talk about the other 2 groups. We have one group at the gate and one group doing an infiltration here. I believe we ended the last session with the people at the gate, and I believe we have two tardy members of our party that feel like leaving class early today, so I feel like we should be focusing on them. So, with the infiltration party, give me a reminder of who's assembled here. Am I seeing Camelou, Nita, Gumo? Who else am I missing here?
That's it. I mean, Mauvette's in the sky.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Levette's on his way to get the triple crown.
Hmm. Um. You know what? You guys are dealing with the blizzard. The blizzard's practically done with, but you're still on the surface. I guess before I deal with the infiltration party, I should worry about it later. Infiltration party. Describe me your steps. Where are you going to? How are you entering the fort? Just give me broad strokes of your intentions, and I can paint the scene as we go along here.
With the three of us, I'm going to be trying to be as quiet as I possibly can.
Okay.
I mean, we're invisible to them, right? So the sound wouldn't matter, or maybe they'll think we're a ghost. I don't know.
Well, you're not invisible. They can see the cloud.
Oh, I thought we were going in and out of cloud form.
You are. That
Okay.
I think the only times I'm being
Will
strict.
be.
Yeah, the only times I'm going to be strict about that is when you're opening and shutting doors. There's just iron doors with little to absolutely no gaps. And it's just going to be a fun little tidbit of you guys just coming in, coming out. Other than that, I'm going to give you guys the benefit of the doubt when you're in cloud form and going through the building. If you keep acting unnatural, you're going to draw more attention.
No, my goal is just to the obelisk as straightforward as we possibly can.
Okay. Well, the
Same
question is, where is the obelisk?
Opens one door. Hello, obelisk? No. Okay, move on. Great. No, okay, this door.
Because
Okay.
I do need to say, and this is not me trying to be an asshole here, but the person who knew about where it'd be in the building is a mute. And I was actually trying to think back, yes, I have mentioned through that character, Bjorn, that it was in the fortress, but I don't remember any follow-up questions with that because it would need to come from Seer of all people because there's a language barrier. And on top of that, you guys had little time with Bjorn, and then you sent him off.
Bjorn
When
knows
you're
how to
going
do
to the
doodles.
village.
Draw some stick figures.
Yeah. Yeah, I can give you the benefit of the doubt here. Okay. No, I like that. Drawing a map. That seems reasonable. I like that. We're not going to rewind too far back. We're going to see how well you guys understood the map before going forward here.
Ruh-roh.
Uh-huh. I'm going to say give me an investigation check. And this is before you went into cloud form, all right?
Hey, Gumo, what's your investigation like?
+2 with half proficiency.
Oh, you're so smart. It's on you, bro.
Wait, what? What do you mean it's on me? That's awful. What?
You know how to read maps so good.
If you
All
have a
right,
proficiency
let's
with
do this.
if you have proficiency with cartography, I can offer advantage.
Oh, hell no, I don't.
If you don't mind getting shocked, I will guidance you.
Go for it. I have 104.
Okay.
What's my thing again? Is it 2d10?
No, it's 1d12.
1d12.
You haven't been touching people lately.
I know, because I
Only
can't.
yourself.
Oh god, I rolled high. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, take that
so
enlightening
that's
damage. Yep.
Yeah, I know. I should try and get resistance to that just in case this comes up again. Do math. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm still fine.
Mm-hmm.
Right, guidance is 1d4. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
Plus 1d4.
Oh god.
Okay.
Ooh, looks like I'll be giving you a 3. Do we want to
Wait,
use an
wait, wait, wait,
inspiration
wait.
on this?
I have an inspiration. Take it.
Okay. Great.
I can use my own. You hold on to
Okay.
yours.
Before we use anything, a low roll does not mean a failure, all right? Even if you failed the DC, I can give you basic
Okay.
information, just not detailed information.
Okay, that 7 is just gonna tell us go left and that leave us hanging.
So, would you like to use inspiration with that in mind?
It'd be really funny if I didn't.
If that's your choice. So, like,
It'd be
from
really funny if I didn't.
I want to imagine that it's not a issue with understanding the interpretation of like a simple diagram. It's more towards giants and their architectural lore. Like even people with a passive knowledge, much like how like you'd expect a dwarf to have a passive knowledge of blacksmithing and metallurgy. With giants, they have a strange culture towards architecture and even towards the diagrams. Although they seem unnatural to you, you can at least get a general point that it seems wherever it is, it's beyond the grand hall, is what I'd call it. Essentially, like a place with large feasting tables, a throne. I hesitate to call it a throne room just because it's more of a tribal, like grand hall. But whatever is beyond this high traffic area, behind it should be where the obelisk is. So with that in mind, you don't have a great idea of the general area itself, besides what you can take at a normal glance that there's 7 towers. The shape of the fort is unnatural, and there are many different open areas. Where would you like to enter? Are you going to ground level and going through the front door where there's traffic, or are you going on the trying to think of the proper term? What is the wall walkways is what I'm going to call for now till I think of a better word. Are you going to be landing on one of those and going through like a side entrances that patrolmen would use? What's your thoughts here?
I mean, I imagine the side entrances just because, sure, we're invisible, but it's not like we're incorporeal. They'd probably still feel us.
It's very important to like try to detach yourself from the word invisible. You are far from invisible. It's just people would not understand what they're looking at. It's a very important distinction.
Well, I mean, we
'Cause
have the stripes.
Not the stripes, the spots, the giraffe spots.
Yeah,
Oh, the
you
spots,
have
yeah.
the giraffe
No, the
pattern, but
stripes
that's not visible like during your mist form either. But I got you. Because keep in mind, you have not reverted form yet. I'm just figuring out where you landed. All right, you're on the wall walkway, and as you land, you take a minute to revert.
Well, I don't imagine Oluia is going to want to leave the guy who seems to have a penchant for murdering things completely on his own.
And just so I know, where on the walkway are you landing? The one closest to the fort itself, one of the watchtowers in the middle? Again, important information. Where specifically are you landing, and do you revert?
For me, it would be the less foot traffic path. But he's the one reading the map, so.
Yeah, so that's on top of the wall. Like, which part of the wall is basically what Gray's asking.
Yes,
Like on a
there's the
watchtower, like just the path itself, that kind
yeah.
of thing.
The area he is suggesting would be air quotes like less traffic, but again, you still have patrolmen. That's why I'm asking near the watchtower and somewhere in the wall,
We'll take
walkway,
the
or closest to the fort.
patrolman, less foot traffic. We will learn to bob and weave them.
Okay. And you,
So
Gumo?
probably close enough to a watchtower that when we transform, we won't be seen, or rather,
Okay.
the clouds won't really be seen all that well, and then revert back. So probably like near a watchtower as a bit of cover, but not so close that it'd be like in or on the actual watchtower itself.
Yeah. So you land near the watchtower. It's a open hole. There is no door for the watchtower itself. And as you land, do you enter or do you revert form?
I'd say revert.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I thought
both
we
of
were
you,
using a bit of the tower for a bit of cover
yeah.
to revert.
Do both of you revert? One person?
I know. I would be going together. If I could, everyone would be holding hands right now.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm sorry for stressing this out because it is important. Like, one, to which one of you would be invisible, if not both of you, and two, who can make checks. Because again, you cannot make checks in this form. All right. So a minute passes, and who do I see?
Well, I'd go down and show myself, but Gumo's leading the way
Okay.
with his awesome map
Yeah,
skills.
and I'll do the same. Go down and show myself, and then get to looking.
Okay. So a minute passes, and I can see both of you.
Hmm.
Okay. You begin to look around, and in the initial watchtower, you see a spiral staircase, and within the interior, you see. Do either one of you read giant?
No.
No.
Okay. Well, you see tanned. What's the right word? Um, I'm trying to think of what's it called when you take skin from a goat and turn it into parchment. Vellum? Yeah, I believe it's called vellum. There's something close to that. You see dried leathers that are written on, that are on tables, on the wall, like diagrams and writing from giants. No particular doodles of any sorts. Like you don't see any like humanoid shape. Again, it just seems more architecture.
Okay.
Would you guys like to investigate any of this, interact with any of this? Would you like to go upstairs, downstairs? Listen around?
So from what we've gathered from the map is that the obelisk is somewhere past a great hall.
Yep, Great Hall.
Okay.
So imagine this within your heads. Imagine a rectangular shape with lengthwise going north and south. Then towards the south, there is a open area in front of the rectangle. And within this open area, you see four like towers, two that connect to this rectangle, and two farthest away that'd be near the gate. Imagine you are at one of the towers nearest to the gate. And perhaps at this point, if you look out the window, you might even see Bjorn, Eddie, and Seer slowly making their way like up the winding path.
Okay, but we're not on the main floor. We're off higher, right?
Yes, you're off higher. I'm just saying you're
Okay.
furthest away from the rectangle, the main area.
So, like, should we try to make our way down? Because the big open space, I can't assume that maybe it's important, so they would have it on the main level.
Hmm. Probably. Hold on, let me check the map. Pulls
Okay,
it
what are
out,
you looking
stares at
for?
it for a second. So you said that there's kind of like that big rectangle. That seems to be like the main hall, right?
Yeah, that well, I wouldn't even say that's the main hall. That's just the main area of the fort.
Okay. Gosh, my brain. So is there anywhere that kind of sticks out as being like a main hall, or is it all just the main floor because we're so small in comparison?
Make me a. You don't need to make any check because it was identified as the main hall. You know the main hall to be to the farthest north of the rectangle, in that there are 3 to 4 areas in between you getting to that long or that grand hall alone.
Okay. From where we are now, what seems to be the quickest way to get past kind of that rectangle to get more towards that main hall? To like kind of like get behind
Either,
it, keep going north.
yeah, like I mentioned before, either down the walkway towards the rectangle, like when I was mentioning where you landed, you had a choice of the middle, like closest to the rectangle, farther away, you chose the watchtower. Going towards the rectangle would bring you closer to the grand hall. So you can either go on ground level, go through the main entrance, or go through the patrol entrance on the walkway.
Oh, okay. Then yeah,
That'd be
it
your
would
first
seem
step.
going
Then
through the
there's a couple
patrol
more
entrance.
areas after that.
Yeah, so given where we are and all that, going through the patrol entrance would seem to be the best bet.
Perhaps.
Sorry, I'm trying to. Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that.
I'm good with that.
We moving. We grooving.
Smooth as ice.
Okay. Well, where are you moving exactly? So you're going down the walkway to the patrolman's entrance.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything that you do while making your way to the entrance?
I'm trying to be as quiet as possible.
Same
So
here.
you're stealthing over.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Make me two stealth checks. I'm gonna be nice here. Straight rolls, and there's light obscurement.
So we both make 2, or are we each making 1?
Each one. Each one of you makes 1.
Expertise, go!
I roll a disadvantage, right? Because of my armor? Or is that changed with this?
Unless you have some way of negating it.
I don't think so.
Would you like a bardic inspiration?
Sure. Was that a D8?
Nope. I believe it's a D10.
D10.
Yep, D10.
Let's see. Wow. With 17 and a 1.
Okay.
Still a meld.
I'm. Well, no, I'll save it. Uh,
Would you like
You
an
sure?
inspiration?
I'll take my inspiration. I'll do it again and I'll guidance myself.
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah.
Since it's an inspiration, you'd still keep the bardic inspiration, correct, Gray?
What's that? I forgot to do the thing. You said it's a D10
It's hard to say.
and,
I would,
and a D4.
yeah, there you go. Okay. What's both your passive perceptions?
Where I be finding
15.
that? My
It's
wisdom is
the
not
little.
Okay.
So if you go to perception on the main page, you look at the bonus, then you look right next to it, and that shows your passive.
bad. 14.
14. With both your passives, as you creep across the wall, you do see in the watchtower that there are two giants standing sentry. One is looking out on the horizon at a at faraway areas, and you see that their spyglass is pointed downwards towards the serpentine walkway leading to or up the mountain to the fort, and the other one is passively looking around the general area, and you see that his glance almost catches you as you guys walk across the walkway.
Wait, one of them sees us?
No.
Nearly does. You guys
Okay.
just make it. Almost catches a glance, perhaps like either Gumo or Nita, Luya, either like pulls the other person down, or you guys take a moment just to crouch and hide as his gaze sweeps over, then sweeps back.
Just say, I got a 31 if that motherfucker sees me.
Yeah,
That's
but
some bullshit.
Well, I was gonna say keep in mind, like you guys got to keep your ears open and stealth around. You guys are doing infiltration within a fort here. And these guys are not being loud. That's why I didn't give it to you when you guys went into the tower itself. There was no conversation being had. You guys walk across. You get to the door. And like I mentioned before, the architecture of this fort is phenomenal. It's almost like they carved it out of the mountain itself. And looking at the door, you barely see the outlines of the door. In fact, you would think it'd just be an alcove or a wall if it were not for the indented handholds for it to be pulled open or pushed open. But it does seem like it requires a bit of strength to do so.
Oof.
I'm sorry, I missed the last bit. What would need force?
Opening the door. You're in a fort meant for giants with stone doors and stonework. Like, it takes time and feats of strength to do simple things around here.
Okay.
Is it
I'm on my
possible we
buff.
could also use our platforms to just slide under it?
That's why I was mentioning you could barely see, like, the outline of the door. It doesn't seem like there's much of a gap for you to take, or I shouldn't even say much of a gap. It doesn't appear that there's a gap for you to take advantage of.
They're like 3 times our size. Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even need capstan.
Well, I'm gonna use my muscle mommy strength to try and creak it open.
Yeah. And in fact, I can, if you guys would like, would be appropriate here. You guys can just make me an intelligence check, like, on this door itself, and I can give you guys a bit of information.
Let me some of those.
Yeah. When you say intelligence check, do you have any specific skills in mind?
Niet.
Got a +0. What do you got?
Oh, dude, I got a negative.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll also roll mine.
You can put your heads together, but you might take more lightning damage.
I don't know where that +2 is coming from. Should just be like a 15.
Alright. So, well, even with the roll, I can tell you, just looking at the door, like, the giant culture is beyond your curriculum. This would be more of a question towards the seer herself, because they have lived in cultures with giants nearby. But from what you can gather just looking at the door itself, again, like I mentioned, this great feat of architecture, but it appears like the intentions behind the door is to just prevent drafts, or like act as a form of insulation for the keep itself. But what strikes you as weird is the species that you're dealing with. They should be accumulated with or acclimated to cold environments, so cold areas and drafts shouldn't affect them, which strikes you as weird. It doesn't seem like an aspect that should be touched upon with this particular race. So perhaps this is a trophy that these creatures have gained. But then again, this seems like giant architecture. Just gives you more and more questions. At least that's the intent of the design that you're gathering here. So who opens the door?
It would be me.
I need a athletics check.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm rolling like doo-doo.
Do you have proficiency with athletics, Gumo?
I have half proficiency.
That is not what I asked. Are you making your own check here? Or are you doing something
I'll go
else?
for it.
Before you make that check.
God damn
Okay.
it.
No, you
Okay.
made that check.
Before you
Ray,
take
can't
that
just
check
tell me things
and
like that.
before you take that
Ray,
check
you
and
gotta
slide
tell
your
me
credit
before
card
I'll
onto the
jump
table.
for it.
Yeah, I was going to say again, as a reminder, there's other things you can do as well, but I'm going to take that at value that this is what Gumo would do during that time period. Again, you guys are in a walkway out in the open, and there is a watch. I'm trying to think of how I want to handle this. You guys aren't stealthing, you guys are out in the open. I'm not sure whether I want to go with passive here or make a perception check to, again, sweeping glance to see if you guys get noticed or if I should do something else here.
I'm so confused. Are we not in our spots? I thought we were invisible to giants.
No, I do apologize. You guys did have the get up on. No, that was a misunderstanding on my part because some people have and some other people don't. No, that's very good. That was a detail I forgot about.
I was so confused the entire time.
Yeah.
X.
No,
Exactly.
that's my bad. Like my brain is oriented towards an infiltration. I'm not trying to intentionally fuck you guys.
They've activated their Conqueror's hockey. And
Yeah. Just one final thing. The misunderstanding came from me because I thought that's how you're interpreting the spell. I forgot about the painting.
No.
But no. If that's the case, then it's more of... Yeah, I guess there'd be no check yet then. If that's the case, then all it takes is time. And time passes.
Question.
Yeah.
Can I have my inspiration back?
You can have your inspiration back, I'll grant it. I'm not gonna be a dick about that. That was a misunderstanding on my part. You open the door.
Bardic inspiration and a spell slot back.
I struggle to open the
Just
door.
spent one to get another bardic inspiration back.
I'll give back the bardic inspiration. But
Alright, then I
that's
can
it.
back my spell slot.
So, as you open the door, now I need to check for you to close it.
Oh god.
Now here's the point where it doesn't matter how you're dressed up.
Hear me out. What if we
Yep.
just leave it like this and
Yeah,
start racing
You can.
towards the finish?
The draft opened the door. Maybe the fort was not
The
made
stone
properly.
heavy door. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. You
Shoddy
guys start
architecture.
dashing in.
Yeah, and if I dash, I fly.
Okay.
So I'm quiet.
I can
Well-
also click my heels and fly as well, so I'll do the same.
Okay, so
we
both of
start
you are
running.
flying.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. You start running inside of the fort here. The door open. We're hearing the howling wind outside beginning to claw its way in. And as you make your way through, you eventually come to an area with a... What the hell is it called? You come to the next watchtower area, and it is a narrow hall, and it seems like it branches out into an upper level of an interior. So, just to explain it thoroughly, the watchtower has a spiral going upwards, a staircase. The hallway branches off into an open area. Where do you guys go?
Well, not up. So
Okay.
I would assume towards the open area.
Yeah, and you're hearing like the pounding of metal. Yeah, metal on metal. Doom, 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 doom. And it doesn't sound like a singular person. It sounds like a group of people.
Uh-oh. Flying out.
It
And you
sounded like
guys...
Gray was walking away mid-sentence. Dude, you cut out. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. That's fine.
I'm gonna sit in line.
You hear, like, towards the open area, like, the sounds of beating. Boom, 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 boom. Metal on metal. It sounds like a group of people, like, organizing their own music here. It's almost like a heartbeat. And you're still you're still flying and dashing forward.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Okay.
Gotta make
Second.
use of this paint somehow.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Holy
Uh-oh.
cow.
Seems... Well, I was gonna say, with the 99, as you guys are dashing, I need both of you to make dexterity saving throws.
Ooh.
Okay.
Again,
Not
as
bad.
you are flying. As you are flying, dashing. 2. Okay.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I
Oh.
rolled above.
Is there anything you'd like to do to that
today.
roll?
When I have to use that inspiration, god damn it.
There we go. Now it's officially being used.
Oh my god!
No, I am rolling so bad today.
Would you
If
like
he would've
another?
been- No. I'm gonna, whatever
Okay.
is hitting me, I'm gonna have to just take it.
It's not what's hitting you, it's what you're hitting. I need you to roll a d12.
It's what?
Oh, God. We're gonna run right into a forge, and you're gonna end up being the sword.
Yay! It's just a little. That means, little static in the air. Little.
Perhaps it's
Yeah, it's cool.
Aluya who
That's
hears it first, and she's trying to correct herself, and Gumo's going based off of instinct here. But as you guys crest a corner in this hall leading to this open area, you hear footsteps. Boom, 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 boom. And as you see a giant patrolman, make their way down the hall, Gumo, you sidestep out of the way, and there's just a gust of wind that blows his hair in the air. And feeling the draft, the giant looks around, and then feeling an impact on his body that shocks him, he takes maybe like a quarter step back and looks confused. Aluya,
Yeah.
you are not flying. That's during a dash. Your dash is stopped. You're on the ground.
Bye, bitch. I'm going again.
I'm gonna go again.
He can look all he wants. I'm going.
We may or may not be the worst people for this.
Let me look at this really quick, because I can't remember off the top of my head, but... The creature is going to swat its hand in the air.
Cool, because I'm not flying. When I fly, I'm flying more towards the ground, like a quick,
Okay.
like I'm off the ground like a few inches, like I'm just kind of gliding past.
Yeah.
You swat the air, and you're 90-foot tall giant.
Actually, it's more fun if it does this.
Yay!
It's not yay for you. Again, feeling the air, unusual, then feeling something make an impact against his body, shock him, something's not right. So it begins to gather its breath.
It could just be a fly for all this giant nose, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Then exhales into the hallway. You see like this cloud begin to form in a cone. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
And again, just to really put a point on it, this cloud is hitting the ground and spikes are jutting up. Okay. Well, you learned some valuable information here, so let's start off with the first thing. I want you to apply that damage to yourself. That's cold damage. 20. On top of that, looking at the ground, it looks very familiar to you. Like you've seen this used before. And you flash back to, I believe... I'm trying to remember the last time we used this. It reminds you of spike growth. Like these tendrils of spiked ice. Something to keep in mind, that these creatures can affect the environment like that. And it juts throughout the hallway, and the creature is now looking around, and nothing is standing off to it. At this point, what do you do? As you are standing before this creature, and now he's eventually going to take time just to examine what it just did.
If he's looking for movement, then I'm gonna Misty Step.
Okay, perfect.
I get to that level.
And it's smart that you did that, because the damage you took was the cold damage. Like nothing pierced you. There's no remnants of your blood left around. As the creature's waiting, looking at the ground, waiting for like any sign that there's something living. And he stays stationary. You guys are free to move forward here.
Okay, I used it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So just to explain, we have a path that's branching off. Like I said, that there is a corner. Like imagine you're at a T intersection. One is going forward, following the hall. Another one is branching off to where you're hearing that roar. And even now you're starting to hear like a baritone voice echoing off the walls, but you can't quite understand it because, again, giant. Echoes.
Sounds like a fat load of not my problem.
Okay. So do you take the corner and start running, or do you go straight?
Gumo. More like,
Okay,
Gumo.
Before you start,
Yeah.
you were still near the giant. This happened at the
okay.
T
I
intersection. You did
thought
not
we-
make distance away.
Okay.
That is why I'm asking, where do you guys go before you start talking?
We can still do hand signs though.
Yes, you can. I just want to be very,
uh,
very clear about that image.
Yeah. Throw up some gang signs. We know what we're doing. So I'll point in either direction and kind of give like a I don't know gesture. And then I'll point like map. Map.
I look at the map. The map.
Okay. Okay, so if you're to identify where you're at, it appears that if you were to go down the turn, like the corner on this T intersection, it would lead you towards an area just before the Grand Hall, while the other one, it does lead you like further into the keep. You just don't know where. Because you have to remember, you're following the wall. You're looking at the wall, and it's going in between each of these towers.
So straight ahead's off to the unknown, and the turn leads us to the other thing. Okay.
So the turn gets us closer to the Grand Hall.
Yes, it does.
And the obelisk is past or near the Grand Hall.
Mm-hmm.
And that off in the unknown, there's like no idea at all on the map where that is. Or like where that leads. Going straight ahead.
You can intuit that go tower to tower, but just like this one, there might be branching halls as well.
Oh, okay, so it's not just like a grand race off into the unknown, then nah, we're not gonna fuck it, we ball. I'd say we probably just take the turn then.
Okay. You take the turn. And what you come across is a very strange sight. You see... Well, first you see a door. Just like before, well, unlike before, this one is on hinges. It doesn't seem to be carved into the stonework like the previous one. This one seems just to be seems to be used as a potential blockade. But it is on hinges, but it is still like fairly heavy. The door is before you. Do you open it?
Can I listen to see if there's anything, like, can I hear anyone on the other side? Like, they'll notice a door being opened.
I'm glad you asked. Make me a perception check.
Okay.
I would also like to. Well, actually, I can assist you on this one. If
Okay.
your perception score is pretty high, or you can have me do it instead, and you assist if you have proficiency.
I don't have proficiency, but it's not terrible. But I have been
All
rolling
right, then
like
I'll
dog
assist
shit.
you.
So, it's your choice.
Yeah, yeah, I'll assist. You can take advantage.
Okay. Yo, if I didn't get advantage, that's crazy.
That would have been bad.
So you do hear something, and it's very soft. You hear muttering, and it is in Giant. It seems hushed, revenant.
I will hand gesture to Gumo that I turn to my ear and I point to the door and I make the hand flapping sound like someone's talking.
Okay.
There were gap in said door.
Yeah, but if the door opens and we're invisible, maybe we can pass it off for something else. But if we try and use the gaps in cloud form, they're definitely gonna see us.
Let me be a little bit more specific here because my mind got a little jumbled up. It sounds like this person is speaking with reverence, not reverent. My mind was getting jumbled with that. Again, it seems
So they're
like
probably praying to something. Or just really obsessed with something, at the very least.
something with awe and respect.
Maybe I'm gonna fuck it. We're already in this. And I'm rolling badly. Let's
Okay.
maybe they're distracted by their deep whatever respect of whatever's going on in there.
Okay. So what do you
All
do?
right, let's do this. Sounds like we're
Uh,
clouding.
No, I'm gonna just open the door. Or
Uh,
wait,
all
what should
right.
we do? Should we
There
cloud?
is a
Or
there
should
is
we
a
just...
gap.
I'll open the door. You want to go for the
Okay.
door? We'll go for the door. We'll open
Yeah,
it.
I think if we're still the door opens, they're thinking, oh, somebody's just coming in, and then nothing, and then
Okay.
boom boom.
Oh, somebody's playing a prank. Better go deal with them.
Yeah, ha ha ha, guys, so funny.
Okay. You open the door. This
Yeah.
one again,
And not like
you're
all the way.
you're under no time pressure.
Okay.
But it does take time.
Yeah.
And to say like should we start counting in 6-second intervals? Checks are needed to push it fast enough. Just to let you be aware here. But it takes time. You with a heave push open the door and it creaks on those hinges. And as it opens up, you do see you see the strangest thing. You see tapestries made from dried leather painted on, and you see a figure with 4 arms. This figure holds a paintbrush, a head, and a sword. The final arm is dismembered, to which there is a creature, a bird, perched on the shoulder. It seems to be a feminine figure with long hair that goes down to the waist. It is a simple drawing. See before in this long room a giant on a knee in white leather clothing. Well, I shouldn't say white. It's again also leather as well, but more of a cloak. And you see that the cloak is painted. It's painted in many different colors to the point where it's gaudy. Like it does not fit a style. It looks disgusting and over the top, especially for these type of simple folk. But it seems like the most creative clothes you've seen. This balding figure on their knee is holding a fist and covering it with their other hand and whispering in giant. And as you open the door, their head begins to turn, and you see that both of their eyes are a milky white. There's like specks in their eyes. And you guys are not in your mist form. You guys can examine the room, look at the person. Of course, there are 2 doors now on the opposing side. What do you do?
Which door leads us closer to the main hall? If I check the map.
That's the strange part. You weren't expecting 2 doors.
Oh.
It's not on the map.
Okay. It's not on the map.
A door is on the map. Just not 2.
Okay. So then, which one leads us closer to the main hall?
You need an intelligence check. With disadvantage because of your initial failure. Unless somebody can...
All right.
You can't be proficient with intelligence, so it doesn't
in you,
matter.
Tyler. Please, I've been rolling so bad.
Yeah. Oh.
God damn
It's as I said. 2 doors before you, 1 door on the map. Imagine this. If you were to like overlap the physical area with the map itself, the door would be in between both of those doors.
Oh. I'd like to inspect the room.
Okay. Well, you took time looking at the map, and this creature is beginning to stand up and walk towards the door, which you guys are still at, unless you tell me otherwise.
Yeah, we're gonna move out the
He's
way
blind,
into
so
the
we
room.
can just cloud form past him.
You spend a minute to do that?
Shit.
No, I'm just gonna move out the way.
Okay.
It'll take a minute to shit.
Yeah, you move out of the way, and all you hear is Jokataka! Almost like he's yelling a slur, perhaps cursing, and closes the door. Then trailing his finger, see paint begin to be left behind. It's blue. Trailing it on the wall. And
Is it?
as paint trails on the wall, you see it begin to spread like watercolor across the stonework. The creature begins to take out a very large brush. It's probably the size of Aluya's forearm and hand. And as this creature holds this paintbrush, you see them spreading out their cloak, and there's wet paint on it. They begin to bring this, what looks to be perhaps it looks like horsehair. Perhaps it's a larger creature that would make such a large head of a brush. But they begin to dabble onto the paint and move it across the door. I'm going to ask as he starts doing that, what are you doing in this room?
I'm just trying to give this dude a wide berth and look around. Maybe the obelisk is hidden here behind a tapestry or something?
Okay. So you're looking around in the room, both of you?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. I mean, if it shows a door here, and there's like in between where the two of them would kind of supposed to be, I mean, I'd assume that there's a secret door of some kind.
Okay. Give me an investigation check from both of you.
Wahoo.
Oh my god. Please. Please.
I'm gonna see what you get before I do anything.
I rolled at least above a 10 this time.
Okay.
Let it ride.
With the 12, you see more of these tapestries. You see again a hallmark of the room. You see heads on stakes. Each one is, I shouldn't say shrunken, but preserved and painted over. You don't know the meaning behind this, but there's 8, 4 on each side. The room itself is simple with rugs. They have been. I'm trying to think of the term for making a rug. It was crafted with a very strange colors that depicts like a very simple scene. And again, you see this 4-armed figure standing before humanoid, fairly large humanoid creatures, and each one taking a knee. And finally, like one that's standing up is a headless, and this 4-armed figure is holding their head with one of their 4 hands. Sorry, 3 hands, I should say. And it's depicted that this figure is on a higher elevation while everything else is below them. But as you're looking at the walls, it seems like a child's room that was left with a crayon. Like there's a lot of different colors and markings on the wall. Time passes. As you finish examining the room, it is to your horror that you see only 2 doors in the room. As you look to where you came from, and there is just a wall. What do you do?
Want to roll 1d2 and just go with whichever door we place on which number?
Sure.
All right.
Play
One's right, 2 is
musical
left.
doors.
Two is left.
To the left, to the left.
Okay. Just like
Now
before,
free
there's
to go.
just like before, there's no doorknobs. Like it's just the indented like handhold. Who's opening the door?
It
You're
would be-
stronger.
Yeah, that would be me.
Okay. Give me an athletics check.
I'm
Would
so
you like
over
an
my rolls
inspiration?
today. I'm sure if you don't mind giving it to me.
Yes, take it. Take it and be free.
All right.
That was the wrong kind of inspiration, but yeah, we'll go with that one.
It was D10. Oh, you're talking. I got you. Bardic.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, Bardic and regular. I got you. Doesn't matter. You
Oh,
make
I see.
you make the check. Roll fairly high. I believe that was an 18. It does not budge. This is the hardest door you've ever had to open. And as you are struggling, your hand begins to feel a bit warm, almost like you're touching hot wax. And as you try to take your hand away, it will not come out of the handhold, as you do see the door beginning to melt.
I look to the other side. Is that door melting too?
No, just that one. But it seems like your ally's stuck at the moment.
And Paintman's not doing anything?
He is going back to the hallmark tapestry that I mentioned when you entered this room. Gets on their knee and begins to pray once more in Giant. And it's at this moment that you see like his hands, as they're clasped together, beginning to drip palette of paint. Like starts off red, you think it's blood, then it turns to yellow, then blue, then green. It's just dripping from his hands.
So it looks like Olivia's hand is trapped in a wax fake door?
And it's starting to feel hot. What do you guys do immediately?
Pull my hand out.
I
Help
need
to try and cut it out?
I need a strength saving throw. Are you trying to be quiet about this?
No, I'm not.
I was asking more Tyler on the assist here.
Oh. Oh, sweet
With my sword, yes, because, I mean, I really can be. It's a sword of light.
Okay. Make me a attack roll.
Okay. Natural 1. I'm going to inspiration that.
Okay.
Let's try this again. 27.
Okay. 27. Please do the damage here.
All right. Two-handed. Woo!
Okay, you meet the threshold. I'm gonna reduce the DC by 2. What did you roll, Luya?
I rolled a 13.
13. Okay. Take 20 fire damage as your hand begins to sear. And burn is starting to actually fill the room with the smell. You ever fire up a pan and you just get it hot enough where you start seeing that smoke and you get that smell? Imagine that smell with your metal. Furthermore, your hand feels like it's losing a fair amount of flesh. You feel like if you leave it in here any longer, that
Can I
perhaps you
Misty
may
Step out
gain.
of it?
You want to give it a shot?
I'm gonna take it like some sort of. I can dimension door away with Gumo, or I can. I don't know where to go anymore. Yeah, I'll try to Misty step out of it.
Okay.
There we go.
Um. I'll allow it. I like the use.
Okay.
You get out. You get out of it with ease. But it does make noise. Creature is getting up now. Looking, or at least not looking, its head towards the door that you just tried to open. And it begins to walk up and put its hand onto the wall, feeling it. What are you doing as this creature is examining the wall?
I'm gonna motion to Gumo that I'm gonna do a door motion and hand and see if he'll take it for a dimension door back out into the hallway.
Yeah, he'll do it. He'll give you like a thumbs up with
Alright.
his finger going too far back so it snaps. But yeah, he gives you a thumbs up.
So I grab him and we go.
Okay. You're doing a dimension door like out the way that you guys came from?
Yeah. I'm
Okay. Yeah.
trying to figure out,
That
I
works.
guess we can turn back and go the other direction.
Yeah, you teleport into the hallway that led to this chapel of sorts, and as you do so, it looks like the hallway leads to a dead end. There is no longer a door.
Okay.
All right. As you begin to backtrack to the T intersection, you see that the frost giant is sweeping with their axe at the ground. As they do so, like shards of ice are coming up. It looks like he's cleaning the floor he's made a mess of.
Sounds like we're going the other way then.
Yeah.
Okay. Going in the opposite direction. As you begin to move forward, you come across an area, again, to another watchtower spiral going upward. And right next to it, you see a door leading outward. Or not outward, inward towards the fort. Again, hinges in the hole, like shabam. There's a gap. What do you do?
Can we hear what's behind? Okay. If there's somebody behind that door?
Make me a perception check.
Take advantage.
Okay.
Be helping you.
You hear snoring.
I motion over to my ear at Gumo, and then I make like the sleep motion, like I put my two hands together like I'm on a pillow, close my eyes, and then like but no sound coming out.
He lays down and starts going to sleep. Like he sees you doing that and he just lays down.
No. I kind of give him a nudge with my foot, like, no. I hear to my ear sleep snore.
His eyes widen, he gets back up and he joins you at the door.
Okay.
Someone might be sleeping, so
We can probably cloud form that.
yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say there's nothing. The only thing stopping you from doing cloud form was just the initial entry. Like there's gaps in the doors now.
Okay.
Which at this point should mention something. Let's have a look here.
Yeah.
Okay. You're hearing footsteps down the hallway and a disgruntled giant speak.
Okay. Into the room we go.
Sorry,
I'm
to
gonna,
to the audience, I rolled a 19 on a D100. Go on.
I'm gonna move down low like a low hanging fart cloud.
Okay, you do so. You seep into the room, and you do see multiple beds. Like there are lines and lines of beds. And weapons hung up in barrels. There's all sorts of armor, weapons, and beds. It appears that you've come into barracks, and you do see three frost giants sleeping. It appears they're in between shifts here.
Okay. I'm gonna move down low and move under their beds and stay close to the ground
Okay, you do so.
Fall behind.
and find the next door.
With these, as you open up into this area, the the shouting is reaching its climax, and you're in again a long hallway here. There are three things of note. First and foremost, right in front of you, there is a bed, a garden of sorts, filled with tundra orchids. It seems well preserved. And on the other side, there is a door to your right. Coming in here, you see a staircase going down. You'd hazard a guess that would lead to the throne, or not, I shouldn't say throne room, the grand hall that you were making your way to. To the left, you see the strangest damn thing. You see what appears to be a wall covered in draft print.
Like made from giraffe skin, like the centaur skins, or just like the painting?
You interact with it.
I'm not interacting with it. I will look at it, but I shan't touch.
You look at it, and it does appear to be furs, hung up like a curtain.
Yeah, I'm
And
out.
it's made from, well, make a nature check. See if you can identify the animal.
Oh my gosh, that's okay. It's okay.
I also make one.
You've really got to start announcing before you see the results, buddy. But I'll allow it.
Alright. I mean, I thought based off the way
That
yeah, I thought
doesn't
you
matter.
had like
I like to
proficiency in it, so
I like to hear things are happening simultaneously rather than being procced by failure. Yeah, a 6 and 7. It seems like a fair amount of trophies, but it's not the natural color that they should be. You just can't identify the animal.
Okay.
For all you know, it could be horse pelts. Could be something different.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm moving on from this wall of flesh. Uh, you said there's a staircase that leads down?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna make my way there.
What about you, Guma?
We'll follow along.
Okay. You do so, and you see an assortment of frost giants in a grand hall. As you descend the staircase, you are coming behind what looks to be a throne.
I'll revert back to human form with the giraffe paint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looking at this throne room, trying to think, would this be considered a grand hall or just the throne room?
Imagine as a grand feasting hall.
Got it.
Okay.
It's important to note that as you are coming into this room, the back of a giant is towards you, speaking to a crowd of giants.
Buddy, focus on him. We're going to move around you. Touch
Okay.
nothing.
All right. You see six I'm trying to think of it. Archways. There we go. Like openings. There's no doors. 6 archways on either side, left and right. And at the end of the hallway, you see a giant door, again made of stone. It seems impossibly heavy to move.
Six archways that each move towards a giant door.
6 archways on left and right, and at the end, if you're thinking like a rectangle to the north here, there is a door, just a very large door.
Okay.
And it seems like the throne is faced towards it, and all of the other frost giants have their back to that door.
Okay. Tyler, roll me a D2 for left or right. We'll avoid the door for now because everyone will see the door open if we make any attempt. It's
Alright,
one of
same
those
numbers as
doors
last
where we
time?
have to open and not cloud form, right?
It would need a closer examination with the scale of it. Might be different.
Want to take a look, then roll the 1d2?
Yeah, we'll take a look and then we'll roll. We move to look towards the door, look at the door, and then decide what to do from there. If we have to go through one of these side hallways.
Okay. Sorry, I was reading something. What is your action?
Oh, we're gonna just examine the door to see if it's the kind that we have to force open or cloud under.
Well, almost on cue. As you finish, come down here and begin to go towards the door, you see that the doors open. As they open, you see a giant speaking to this lord. And I need to say, I also figured out the term here. As the door opens, you see the bailey. The bailey being the open area that you were looking overhead before. And beyond that, you see the front gate.
Got it. Okay. So that does not take us to where we want to go. All right, Tyler, we can roll the 1 or 2.
I was
All
gonna
right.
say with this positioning, at the end of this hall, you see that leads to the front entrance. Looking behind you, you see a staircase going upward.
And it's different from the one that we came in.
No, that's the same steps you went down.
Oh. Alrighty then. Well, left or right door. Let's same numbers as last time. One is right, two
Okay.
is left. Let's do this. We're going right.
Okay. Going right from your perspective, looking towards the front entrance. Got you. All right, we're gonna go stage left. As you,
You're confusing the shit out of me.
I know it's because you guys went around like through the battlements and came in from behind. That's why this is confusing. You're going to stage left, you're right, and you're going through these archways. As you go through these archways, there's billowing smoke that is leaving the building. And looking before you, you see deer that are strung up, cut, skinned, and their carcasses left on iron hooks hung up by chains. You see at least a dozen carcasses done in this manner, and maybe a perception check.
Both of us. All right. Well, I'm doing it too then.
One of them seems very weird. It's looking below it, the leg, the hooves. You examine it, and it seems reminiscent of a horse. And then looking to the side, you see the upper torso of a humanoid figure, also strung up and torn apart.
Okay, so we assume it's a centaur person?
You see
That's what I
the
was thinking.
seeing the upper half of a humanoid and the carcass of what appears to be a horse.
Okay. Do we
But
recognize...
it appears you've walked into the kitchen. But go ahead.
Okay. Do we recognize the... Have we seen this particular one at the village?
I'm gonna say with the time spent, perhaps. No, actually. Make me a history check.
Good at that.
We both do this.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd be allowed to make it.
All right. Because I actually have some skill in this.
Oh, excuse me.
With the 17, this figure seems to be reminiscent of the centaur that Eddie was speaking to during the siege.
Okay. Sorry, dude. R.I.P. We gotta go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We move on.
Just gotta keep moving. Keep trying to get to the obelisk.
Okay. This leads nowhere.
Okay.
This
And
entire
I'm
area
gonna
is
do
just a
it.
dedicated kitchen.
Yeah, then I guess we're gonna go for the other door then.
Okay. At this point, 3 giants leave towards the open door going outward. The door shuts behind them. And as you go into the next area here, you see... Sorry, I'm just trying to think of the term here. You see what appears to be more black smoke coming out. You're seeing a forge and weapons laid out, like 2, sometimes 3 times your size, hung up, laid down on tables. It appears you've reached an open armory here, which again seems very strange to you because typical architecture would tell you that this was it's supposed to be a secure room that only people, guards and soldiers can get to, but it appears if something breaks out, they believe that they would be in this hall if they needed weapons.
Okay.
And again, leads nowhere.
Okay.
Damn.
The obelisk is not on the ground floor then.
You're in the ground hall. You're looking at both sides. You see a kitchen and an armory. You see an entrance that leads towards the bailey, the outside, and you see a stairway going upward.
Upwards
We
we
just came
go.
from the stairway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was no other way to go but here. So unless we want to teleport back to the painter's room and try the other door...
Well, that's incorrect. I said that there was an additional door up there as well. You guys just got sidetracked looking at the pelts.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. But because again, the amount of time you guys are taking here, just looking around, speech is ended, doors are closing, and you see that the giants begin to disperse, and this leader of sorts, this Jarl, is beginning to ascend the staircase.
Front door, outside, kitchen, smithy, back upstairs. Well, if he's about to go up, we should be ahead of him. So I'm gonna dash up.
You're going to dash.
Even then, we could also probably follow him.
Yep,
Or-
flying.
Yep.
All right. You do so. You begin to dash upwards, flying. There's a bit of a draft, and you see him looking around. Curious. Just to explain his appearance a little bit here. You see that he is practically like 18 feet tall. Very wide shoulders, cerulean skin, and you see like pale white frost veins that like stretch throughout its body. You see like tattoos, again, more frost tattoos that just glow different colors. And you see that it's simmering blue, I should say. It's a nice blue color that's glowing with. The beard and hair is almost wisp-like. It's almost like a constant mist is around his face, almost like it's alive. And towards his eyes, you see one of them is black and obsidian, and it almost looks like a constant storm is running in the eye. But he's He wears the same armor as everybody else that you'd see, but perhaps more decorated. Maybe you see like more bonework. But he ascends the staircase. As you make it to the top while he's midway in the staircase, what are you examining? What are you doing? Like I mentioned, there's orchids, there's a door, and there's still that pelt wall with the giraffe print.
Hmm.
This guy coming up the stairs, is he the king, the guy that was giving his
Yeah,
speech
he's
in
the
front of
Jarl.
the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, the Jarl. It might be a good idea to try and follow him.
Okay.
I'm checking with Nita. Do you want to try and follow him to see if he might lead us to the obelisk, or just keep trying the other way that we
Not
didn't go before?
particularly. If he made mention of some storming eye, I don't need him to like hone in on whatever that eye is. See us.
Okay.
You said a wall of pelts, right?
That is correct.
Can I go back to that wall and see if there might be something behind said wall of pelts? Like, not with my hands, like, use my spear to see if there might be a door behind it. If this is like their trophy wall, maybe their special room might be hidden behind it. I don't know. I'm just thinking out my ass right now.
You begin to touch the wall, and each time you touch the wall, it's hitting like stonework. So you do it from the far left, tap, tap, nothing. Tap, tap, nothing. Tap, tap, nothing. You keep going across the wall. And once you get to the center, it leads inward. And as you put your spear through it, you hear a small stifled yelp.
I'm just gonna kind of take a better peek and figure out what that might have been.
Well, it doesn't take much because as the curtain splits open, you see a familiar pink face, glasses that you've seen too many times, as you see Medtorian's face in a hushed whisper just say, "Hello there, my friends. You're late."
Yeah, great. So, listen, dude, you can watch all you want. Like, give me like directions on what else you wish to look at. Like, where is this fucking room that we're supposed to find?
And he does the hand wave. Not waving at you, but just like, no, no, no.
I wave
Just
at him,
go-
thinking it's a wave.
Yeah. As he does that, he just says in a whisper, "You know I cannot do that. It is not right."
You can do that. I don't give a shit what you think is right. You're up in our shit. You're in the way. You might as well tell us where the room is.
I am not in the way. How dare you?
You got in the way of my spear, did you not? You got poked.
I did not get poked, but it did surprise me a little bit.
Yes, guys.
As he begins to speak again, there's a small yelp as he recedes his head, and you see the Jarl ascending the top of the staircase. And he stops, staring at the pelt wall for a moment. And his eyes go down to the orchids. And as he stares at the orchids, you look at the tattoos and they flare like fire. On his arms, up his shoulders, they turn a fiery red and orange. And taking a deep breath, they simmer down. And they become a nice blue once more. As he takes a knee right next to the orchid, and with a small knife that he clutches within between his index finger and his thumb. It's very small. He delicately, like, cuts parts of these orchids and takes weeds out of the ground. A very delicate thing that he is doing, but is taking his attention, almost as if he is doing garden work.
So pink shit. He seems distracted. Where is the room? The obelisk room. I should
You are
be more
here.
specific.
It should be here. You are in the room. Right now.
You're not in the room.
Oh.
That is why I am confused. It should be here.
I'd like to take a closer look at what the Jarl is doing to see if I can try and glean anything from it.
Okay. Give me a nature check, because what he's doing is involved in garden work.
Oh, yeah, kasha. Boom. That'll be 19.
19? Oof. Tell me the exact intent behind your roll before I move on here.
Given what's just been said, I want to try and figure out if he's like gathering these things for like a ritual or any kind of like special process, or if he's just gardening.
As you begin to watch his work, you notice that he pulls out a small decanter and gives just a little bit of water to the plants. You see that he is pruning like areas of the plant, even deadheading, no harvesting. And perhaps you even see like a one insect that he pinches with his finger and blood just splats everywhere. It appears that this is just a hobby. He's just gardening. Unless you want to do insight.
I'll do insight.
Okay.
That's a 20. Dirty 20.
It appears that his mood is crazed like a storm. He is trying to ground himself through gardening, it appears. To what end of why a giant would take up the hobby, to why this would soothe him, is beyond your guess here. But it appears that they are trying to decompress.
I'll communicate that back to Aluya
Okay.
very quietly.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to write something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The room is supposed to be where we are. It's not. And you said when he came up, the tattoos on his body flared up?
Yep.
And then he glanced over at the flowers and it chilled him out?
Let me be very specific. He stared at the flowers and it flared anger within him. Then once he started doing this garden work, it began to calm down.
Can I, on the map that Bjorn drew, is the garden technically, like, is there a space for a garden? We don't know it's a garden, but space there?
Nope.
No.
It does not appear through his work that he was aware that there was a guard in there.
Got it. The room is supposed to be here, but it's not here. There's a garden.
This appears to be the obelisk room. There is no obelisk. There is a Mediterranean in this opening behind this curtain, and there's still a door. What do you guys do?
And it's just an opening, or like a way, like a way for us to move through where Mediterranean is.
If you examine, you can figure it out.
Oh.
All he did was poke out his head.
Got it. I'll check and see if there's a passageway or a door or something that leads somewhere else.
Through the curtain?
Yes, I'm not going to touch the curtain at all.
Yeah.
My spear.
So you spread open that meat curtain and looking in. Sorry, I'm trying to help with my smile here. Looking
curtain,
inward.
huh?
Yeah, well, it is. As you look inward, you see a tunnel that would support folks of your size. It seems to be carved through the stonework and inward. And it is a tunnel that is a serpentine inward. So you, like, even as you look in, you can't see that far, but it does look like it goes further in.
Okay. I'm going to press on that way. I don't want to deal with Jarl at all.
Okay. As you guys press forward, Mediterranean just waves you off and just stands near the curtain, just watching the Jarl.
I mouth over to him a big old fuck you, and keep going.
Gives you a wave with a smile.
I give him a
proper
friendly
wave.
in return.
Yep, friendly wave. All right. Is there any precautions that you take as you delve deeper within this tunnel?
I'm just gonna move as quietly as I can.
Okay.
Oh wait, we
You
can
move
turn
quietly.
into a cloud again, right?
Yes, you can.
Alright, I'm gonna do that. So I don't make no sounds.
Yeah, you do
I'll
so.
follow.
You begin to whoosh in as you go down the tunnel.
I'm a low fart cloud.
Yes. Yes, you are. As you begin to travel inward, you come across an opening that leads to a larger cavern. Within this cavern itself, you see an assortment of loose tablets that are etched, stacked to the ceiling, going about 30-40 feet up into the air. Beyond these stacks, there is colorful fumes in the air and a bubbling cauldron. Beyond that, you see animals that are laid on the table, and it seems like a very strange selection of species, but it's too hard to make out, again, from an initial glance here. Beyond that, you see a woman looking into this cauldron, coughing and waving her hand to give herself a little bit of breathing room here. She is wearing a cloak made of a giraffe print. She seems fairly young, ebony skin, and almost... I can't think of the proper term right now, so I'm just going to say Afro-esque hair. There are two different levels to this room. The lower section is what I'm talking about with the cauldron and this woman. To the upper section, it appears it leads even deeper into this cavern here. Again, keep in mind you cannot make checks while in this form. So that is all the information that I'm gifting you as you're having a passing glance.
So she is also wearing these painted patterns like we are?
Yep.
So, yeah.
What was that?
Wanna drop down behind her?
I don't want to drop down behind her. It seems like if she's wearing the pattern, she's also hiding from the giant. I'm just going to reform in front of her as to not spook her or try to provoke her in any way.
Alrighty. Sounds like that's what we'll do then.
Okay. You begin to form behind her. You take a minute.
I said in front of her. I'm not trying to spook her or provoke her in any way.
Her back is towards you and her front is towards a cauldron. Are you manifesting within the cauldron?
In the cauldron? Not. Is there any space around the cauldron? Or is it like a button?
Do you know what imperial staircase is? Do you have that visual in your head?
Vaguely.
Yeah, imagine two staircases that go upward until they arch. Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine the cauldron is against that space in the middle at the base floor, and the two cavern floors go upward like that in that structure, that form. Cauldron has its back to the wall. The woman is staring at this cauldron, looking at the wall. Her back is towards you.
Got it. Okay.
Let's have a look at her.
I won't be right behind her because I don't want it to seem like I'm trying to attack her. So I'm gonna back up further from where she is, and then reform and just kind of like a type of excuse me type cough.
Mm-hmm. As you form, and before you cough, you see the woman sniffing the air. And her head turns back towards you. In Gumo, her eyes are locked in towards you. Brother,
I give a little wave.
Are you lost from the pack? Why are you here?
Then looks towards Aluya.
Why are you with a god-gifted?
Oh, that's towards Gumo.
What?
Okay.
Yep. Where's Gumo?
I don't understand your meaning.
And she begins to approach you, staring deeply into your eyes. And as she does so,
Staring deeply into his eyes that look over to Aluya.
Yeah. And she's staring at your eyes, at your hands, your nails. She'll say,
Fledgling, I see. When's the last time you've gone on for a hunt?
Let's see, when's the last time Gumo probably murdered someone? Oh. About a month or two, I believe.
She knits her brow. Shakes her head.
Must be starving.
Oh, did you mean something more specific?
Kinsman, when's the last time you ate a flesh?
A very long time ago.
This will not do. This will not do.
You see that she's shaking her head. Then, again, her eyes dance over to Luya.
And what of you? Why are you with him? Why are you here?
Look, sorry. We're just trying to... We mean no harm. I don't know who you are. I will give you my real name. Oluya. This is Gumo. We recently met, but he seems to sort of be helping us. I am a new, quote-unquote, God-gifted, I'm just trying to look for the obelisk to help break the storm.
And you
But
see your
it's
eyes begin to open at that.
But it's not going well. The fort is not what we expected, and the map that we were given is not correct. But you seem to be down here hiding well from the giant.
You just walked in here.
Yes, sort of in cloud form, and as you see me now.
She's speechless.
I would have assumed it was the patterns that you wore. But you said you turned into mist? Yes, that makes sense. I couldn't smell you.
I do not know if you're friend or foe. We are not trying to do anything but make things right. Why are you down here? Are you cool
I'm down here because I have to be here. Think I want to be here? No.
Why are you stuck down here then?
And she goes silent for a second.
Do you not remember why you're stuck down here?
Maybe not.
No, I remember. It's just there's a strange creature outside called a train. I fucking hate it. Learn to fill the damn dead air. So she says to you.
I mean, we did.
Yeah, no, good job. I'm proud of you guys. She looks at you with somber eyes.
I'm here because she makes me stay here.
And you hear echoing through the cave.
How dare you speak too much?
And you hear it just echoing through the cave.
My. What do we have here? Is that Aluya Oblak? I can't believe my luck. I've heard about you from my sisters.
No.
How's Velma doing?
Oh,
How
so
is that,
great.
Hank?
Wonderful.
You see no form. Nothing appears before you. Just remains hidden, echoing through the cave.
My dear, what brings you to my humble abode?
You guys need to be cool. I know you guys have like your own plans and stuff. I am just trying to. Well, why are you here? Maybe it's for the same reason.
Well, I am here because I need to be initiated. It's been far too long being so lonely. I am here to prove myself. What of you?
I guess I'm also here to prove myself.
Oh. Are you now?
Well, maybe it might be different from you, but have you seen this big black thing that might
I've
have
seen
some
many
markings
big
on
black
it?
things in my day when I was but a young spring chicken. What do you speak of?
What do you speak of?
Sex!
Hallelujah.
I totally get it. I understand. It was a joke.
How you know?
Hallelujah, do you know this lady?
No, I don't know her. I've just met. Listen, don't do what I do. Do not ask for anything from her.
She
Like
has
listen
quite the
to
name, with all sorts of hangs.
Yeah,
We
I know.
all speak and talk with one another, and your name, it comes up a lot.
I get it. I'm the butt of the joke.
She's the easy mark.
I do hope I meet them soon too.
Now, sisters, calm down. They might hear you.
Ugh.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Mabel. I'm not sure if you heard of me before.
Are you alright, Mabel? You sound quite nasally. Do you have
Yo.
a sickness, perhaps?
It's what you have to sacrifice for power.
And you just hear an audible shiver. And just that rattle.
Now, I need to accomplish something. I am vulnerable alone. They have asked me of a great deed that I must do to join the coven. But I am struggling a little bit. And you seek something big and black? I have many things that are big and black. What do you
No.
desire?
I do not. Oh, I think you have your own path. I have my own. I wish you luck on your trial. Maybe this chick next to me, she could help me on my trial,
Oh,
and you do what you got to do.
I'm afraid not. No, that will not do. Pedra stays with me. She is my
What was her
pet,
name?
after all.
Fenra.
Headrest.
Headdress?
Headrest?
I heard headrest.
Fenra.
Pedra, she will stay to me. My pet cannot go too far.
And you just see her. You see Fenra's brow knit and a scowl form on her face.
Oh, I'm afraid not. We must do something together. You have barged in my home. It'd be a shame if we did not sit down and talk.
No, it's cool. I'm like pressed for time. I'm
Yeah.
just going to skedaddle.
Listen here, daughter of the
Headrest.
storm.
Good luck. Maybe we come back and we chat some more.
You just hear a growl throughout the cave. Did not sound like it came from her.
Listen,
I look back.
listen, daughter of the storm. Seek the obelisk, yes?
Oh, so you do know the big black thing I talked about.
Yes,
How does
if
she
you
know?
didn't notice, the walls echo. Listen, I know exactly where it is. And you won't find it. It's fine. You don't need it. Nobody needs it. But
But
I'm
I
a
do.
kind woman. If you were to help me, I would help you. And if you are too cautious, have your friend strike a bargain with me.
You know what? I think we can do that one. I mean, I've learned my lesson. But if we can get help in a way that it won't affect me anymore, because I'm kind of stacked with the contracts I've made and whatnot, maybe Mo might want to take it.
He looks over at you, breaks his neck, and falls to the ground. He is leaving this up to you. He is like, nope.
I think what he's doing is sacrificing his body for whatever ritual you might need. He's ready. He's prone.
Is that
He
so?
shakes his broken head.
Well, 'tis a curious specimen. If you want, I could make the ordeal easier if you just tie him to my table.
And looking at the table, you see specimens. You see what looks to be a gorilla of sorts. It's hard to tell, same make. That is split open and dissected. You see a centipede, split open, dissected. And strangely enough, you see pink flesh. Like a segment from a creature, not a body. But looking at that, looking at that flesh, like your heart begins to pound a little harder, heavier. Dun 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 dun. You don't know why. Like you've seen this pink flesh before, those veins look similar. You just can't put your finger on it.
Is it from the dodo we just passed?
Tie him to the table, if he is of no use to you.
But listen, part of my whole thing is I cannot really interact with you. I mean, clearly he is willing to do this for you. So if you and him
I'm
like
up and moving away.
be cool, what are you doing?
What are you
You
doing? You're going to strap me to a table.
Oh no, I'm not going to strap you to the table. You're going to strap yourself onto it. I cannot be a part of whatever this is.
Why would I agree to that? It's
Children,
obviously going to hurt me.
children, stop your bickering. You're giving me a headache. I have no tricks in my sleeve. It's very simple. Listen, how do you feel about that big oaf walking around?
I mean, are you talking about the dude that killed poor Abby?
Yes, the very same one.
Not good. I mean, clearly he's not good. What's your beef with him? He killed your girlfriend too?
It is a grand feat that I must do. And what is
Oh.
grander than killing a Debbie Titan?
Let me try that one more time. I lied. Hang on. Hang on. Got mid cough.
What is grander than killing a Demi Titan? Surely.
It sounds like quite a feat. But again, I stand where I stand.
Surely, You must not be friends with the creature. Why don't you help me kill it?
Okay, because that kind of goes against my whole thing, and my friends would be mad at me. You see, I did something really bad recently, and I'm not trying to be on their shit list anymore. I just need to get to what I need to get to.
The
You
creature.
mean you murdered those civilians?
The
Murder,
creature is from a
passion.
bygone era. It is out of time, and it belongs in the ground. It has no place in our realm.
Mhm, mhm. Maybe I'll get back to you. I'll think it over once I find Obelisk, and then maybe Kumo is more than willing to just get up on the table by himself.
I'm afraid, dearie, that there's an expiration on our friendship here. And when you leave, you will not come back.
You hear that, Kumo?
Why do you keep referring to me specifically?
Well, clearly she wants you.
Well, why?
Yeah, why is the question? That is something for you and her to figure out.
You're really starting to give me a nasty migraine, daughter of the storm.
Yes.
Li-
All right, look. I will be out of your hair. I guess you're good luck with your thing.
Listen, it is simple. All I need is one thing. I have an apprentice. She should be below the ice in that feral town of savage elves. Listen, she owns a shop, and she was working on something for me. It was an ingredient. It was supposed to help rapidly grow a poison. Nothing kills that damn thing. Not even the deadliest thing I could find. But that ingredient, I need that ingredient to kill the Titan. Will you not do a simple task for me?
What do we get
Sorry, no,
for doing so?
Gumo, you won't remember this. I can't remember. Can I roll a history? I can't remember if Seer picked up this thing or enhanced it in some way, or knows of the recipe.
I can give you a history check. It will be moderate check.
I cannot assist you, unfortunately.
You can.
Oh,
Yours would be
then
at
yeah, I'll assist you to
disadvantage.
give you advantage.
Oh yeah, that'd work then if you're proficient.
Yeah, I'm proficient.
Okay,
Okay.
so who's rolling here?
You are.
You.
At advantage?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So let me fill in details with that 18.
Okay.
So first and foremost, let's set this up with the woman, the hag that you're speaking to, as she will say,
There is an alchemist, my apprentice, Athalia. She was working on an ingredient that would just rapidly grow. It is critical that I get a fresh sample. I've not seen or heard of her in a while. I need you to contact her and give me a sample. That is all.
and as you think about it, you remember that woman tied to a chair, her stomach open, and those boulets that have left and escaped. And the term rapidly grow strikes at you. Those creatures are rapidly growing.
Okay.
What
So,
do we get in
yes.
return?
What do you desire? The obelisk? Tell me your heart, and I shall
She's
gift
gonna
it to
whisper
you.
to Gumo, listen, dude, I cannot do this right now. If you agree to the terms, I think I know how to get what she needs, but I cannot be the one to agree to the terms.
Why?
Oh, well, it's a learning thing. I can't tell you. I had to learn the hard way too, but it could benefit you or the
Oh.
group, the world. You just have to, we know how to get the thing that she needs, for sure. But I will not agree to actually doing the helping. The words have to come from you.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that last bit one more time?
Yes, okay, so this is what you're going to
Just
do.
the
You're
last
gonna
3 words you said. Or the last 5, rather.
you say, Madam, I will help you. You say these things. You say
As
you
soon
say
as you say, Madam, I will help you, he turns and shouts to the disembodied voice, You heard that, right?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, I did.
He looks back to Aluya. So you've agreed?
Agree to what? Yes, that you say that you will help. You say what you will do and what you will get in return. Because I do not want anything from her and I will not help.
Ah, I see. So I say, you, and he points to you, you will help.
No. You're going to say, I, Gumo, will help.
Mom, he's touching me. Stop touching me. I do think that's clever, Guma, but I fucked her too many times, and that one's a low hanging fruit. Although
Damn.
that was pretty good
Yeah,
though.
bro.
That's
You gotta take the one
I
for the
was really
team
counting
now.
on that.
But you do see
damn it.
that she is losing patience over this bickering, and again the growling is getting louder. And Aluya, looking at the pink flesh, you see it beginning to throb and move.
Hmm.
Before I do anything, what are the drawbacks?
Well,
There are no drawbacks.
that's not true. I will at
It-
least give you that much.
It,
There are drawbacks.
it is simple. You do something for me, and I do it for you. Not complicated.
It is complicated. They are wise with their words of trickery.
Can I simply just get you the thing and just not have anything done to me in return?
You want no reward?
No, not really. I'm quite content with my life. Or unlife? Undeath?
Then it is said. You do this for me in exchange for nothing.
Bravo. Alright, well, time to get underway.
You are supposed to say the obelisk, but you know.
Oh, obelisk. Sorry, obelisk. Ugh.
Dearie, you're being quite flippant. You want something now?
You know what? No,
Fine, I
just
would like
do
the
what you want.
obelisk in return for assisting you.
I am so generous.
He's
Listen,
really not.
Thank you for your generosity.
I
I'm sure
will
my other half will be pissed with me later.
I will amend the deal just for you, my child. Just for you. But I think I want one more thing now. I would like to see my apprentice again. Would you bring me her body?
Oh boy. Can I run a history
What?
check? Did we leave her body there? Or did
That's a
it burn down?
that's a question for Seer, but she's not present here. Something could have happened.
Let me look at my spells to see if there's anything that could help.
They're not gonna like my
No.
answer.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Keep to yourself, girl.
It's simple, isn't it? I just need an ingredient and you have to speak to her anyways.
I look to Aluya like, is that a possibility?
I could not give you the answers right now, but maybe someone else.
This reminds me of stories I've heard of Ginny. Fine, I will give it a shot.
Alright, see? We're all happy here. If that's all you want, I will
I am
give
going
you
to.
the obelisk in exchange for my apprentice.
Trying to remember the name one more time. Sorry, 1 second.
I will give you the obelisk in exchange for my alchemist, Ithalia, and a fresh sample from the ingredient she was working on. That is it.
Talia ingredient. Got it. I'm going to rope you into helping me, and he's going to point to Aluya.
Cool. We should go. Think on everything she just said. I did not do so. Things got interesting. But I believe in you.
I'll make sure to pass on everything that was said here to the others.
Oh, great. They're going to be so annoyed with me.
I know.
Headrest, we're going. Toodles will probably see you again. Goodbye.
Hang on. Okay. All right. And at this point, you guys just begin to leave the tunnel, the cavern.
Yes. So if we cannot locate the obelisk because something is shifted in the fort, if the doors are still open to the front, from whatever was happening, I'll make my way there.
They are not.
Where
But
they're
we'll
not.
worry about that in a little
Later.
bit here. Yeah.
Okay.
For now, I know what Moose said here, but Mavet, I'm gonna move on to the other team here. Are you still prancing around in the sky?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, if I didn't like happen to see something, then yeah, I'm just enjoying sitting back. I know my party is doing well, and yeah, I don't have to help them if they're all good.
It's hard to tell with you in the sky, and the fact that again, like I've been saying, like you really can't do anything besides dash. I can give you basic information.
Yeah, well, what's some basic information? Do I see anything?
Nothing I can give you a check for, but you look around and you see at this time Three giants making their way back to the gate. You see your allies here. The giant, Seer, and Eddie.
So exactly 3 giants, correct?
Yep, three giants.
So what Mavet will do
Okay.
is he will start going in a circle.
Okay.
I would say probably like a radius of, let's say 50. And I will just keep dashing in that circle, going as fast as I can, and see what
Okay.
happens.
All right.
Just
And yeah,
above the fort.
yeah, that happens. It's a swirling wind. Well, let me try to think on that. Figure out what does happen. Fill the dead air with describing in detail what that looks like while I figure out that weird ass request.
Mavet is in his cloud form galloping because he still wanted to be a nice little zebra clown, galloping in a nice big circle,
How
faster
fast
and
is that
faster,
again?
like a racehorse around a track.
Like every
I
6 seconds?
do not remember the speed.
Eddie, or Mega, what's the speed of wind walk off the top of your head?
300 base speed, 600 with the dash.
Okay, thank you. Keep going, buddy. That's the information I needed.
As he is galloping in the wind, little puffs of clouds are leaving his feet like he's a horse on a racetrack, living out his dream where trees typically reside in stationary positions. He is young, wild, and free spirit in the air. And as it churns and churns, maybe something happens, maybe it doesn't. But despite this, Malvet still gallops in this circle, hoping to maybe make a tornado or something, because that would be really cool.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to require a check. You affect the environment. It is the equivalent of a fuck's the term? I don't even understand that. Trying to look at the scale here. Not the weakest. You're just slightly over. I don't think that's weak. You'd be considered an EF1 tornado. So that's roughly about 68 miles per hour. It's enough to break branches, strip, like if we're talking modern times, it'd be enough to strip gutters and shit and overturn cars. So things are moving, strangely enough, and it does cause the giants to stop in their footsteps and look around. At this point, Eddie, Seer, you would notice this incredible change with the environment. It was a normal, well, as far as normal can be here. Like there's a giant ass like snake in the sky being pelted with meteors, and now like during this time, like there's just a sudden storm that is beginning to form. How long do you maintain this for?
Well, I'm just waiting for the party to come and tell me they're done with the mission, so I'm just
Okay.
having fun going around and around.
For our effects, for mechanics, I will say that you're creating a strong wind. So that means there's disadvantage on ranged attack rolls with weapons. Open flames and fogs disperse, extinguish, and flying creatures in strong wind must land at the end of their turn or fall. And I'm going to even say, because it's snow, that you're creating a bit of a snow, like a flurry. So when people are making perception checks, it will be at disadvantage.
Nice. That sounds like a double-edged sword.
100%. All right. So we look at the group as they're waiting at the gate, and you hear distant footfall coming towards you, although like a snow is beginning to hit your face in flurries. The giants come towards the door. They open it up. I don't believe I said it was portcullis. I believe I said it was 2 wide swinging doors. They open these 2 wide swinging doors, and as you see these 3, one of them approaches Bjorn. He speaks in his own tongue. Bjorn says nothing, and looking towards the smaller folk, they are looking for answers, speaking in their giant's tongue. Trying to remember if you guys said anything specific last session.
We did not. We let Bjorn do the talking first, and then if they started speaking to us,
they wrote. He wrote on tablet, and what was the effect that it said once more? Remind me.
As
I mean,
far
like
as go ahead.
it did include like mentioning that they brought small folk, and that they're supposed to be able to help with struggling with the Titan's name now, even though it's just said a few minutes ago.
Boreas, I got you.
Boreas.
Okay. Yeah. And the giants will look towards Bjorn, then towards the smaller folk, and looking towards his neck, there's still scarring. At a closer inspection, he will be speaking to Bjorn, but this will be an open question that you can answer, Seer, since you speak the language.
Shield, brother, what has happened to your throat? What has happened to you?
Whenever the giant speaks, if like Eddie's right beside me, Seer whispers everything to them before like they would speak. So essentially, like if the giant says something, Seer's slowly whispering exactly what the giant's saying, so that the conversation stays in a good flow.
Okay.
So Eddie can hear that, and then Eddie can tell.
Yep.
If Eddie tells me to say something, I'll say what he says. If not, I'll say things.
I understand. You're acting as the mediator here, and you can also give your own input. For that case, Mega, there's not going to be any penalties on your side for understanding the conversation, but if checks need to be made, more than likely we're going performance on your side or persuasion on Seer's. That in mind, how do you answer? At all?
I'll let Eddie say his thing, and then if Eddie doesn't have input, I'll input.
Okay.
He was attacked by unseen forces, and in speaking in the first person for the benefit of Seer, like an I/Seer, it's like aided him in his grievous injuries.
Seer will say it in giant, which in this case would look extremely aggressive, as if they're yelling at across each other, like in the most angry, like New York fashion of hatred. but it's actually just normal talk.
Like the flowery prose of German. So, if Eddie is assisting, well, actually, yeah, if Eddie is assisting here, Seer, you may roll persuasion with the advantage here. Unless anything else is being added to this roll, this is a fairly important check of how things will go on forward here.
This is why I kept my last flash of genius for this reason.
So, I mean, Eddie will offer guidance. And he'll probably add it. It appears to have been an ambush.
Okay, I like that.
You know, I know guidance, you can't really hide it. Does Eddie just like blow smoke in Seer's face? And that's how guidance works?
Like a lot of Eddie's general theme is just smoke billowing all over the place. So I almost want to imagine it's actually more smoke is coming out, but then like imbuing itself in your flames and stoking them.
Oh, that's dope, because currently Seer has short hair, so I imagine it just grows a little.
Typically, I am harder about this, but because there is a language barrier, I'm going to add a little bit of obscurement here. It will not affect the rolls going forward as you negotiate with giants. Let me see that roll. Persuasion with advantage with a d4.
Okay. I'm trying to make sure I don't have any exhaustion. Give me one moment. I think I should have one less exhaustion, because I don't think I transformed long enough that I would be exhausted again. So I think it's a -1. So it would be a total of -2. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I don't recall you disguising yourself.
I got, if I get the -1 off, a 16.
Okay.
If I'm getting guidance, let me roll the guidance first. And when you say this is an important check, you mean like this is them beginning to either see as a threat or not, correct?
It sets the mood, I think, or like
That
sets
is
the.
reason why I'm checking, because I think just in case, because I did save this flash of genius for this reason, I will use it, turning it into a 25, which means for the whole rest of the conversation, if it's setting the tone, they're going to know at least we're not here to be mean or threatful. In fact, if it helps add to the tone as well, Seer will tell them in Giant, essentially, I'm the one that fixed him, and I could fix him further if I had one more piece.
Trying to think of how I want to designate these. With this particular check, I can tell you the mechanical effect. I'm going to be reducing the DCs by a certain threshold. Not by like difficulty, but I'm going to be deducting a number from these following DCs as we move forward here. And in addition, we're going to be treating this not as a skill challenge, but I'm going to be keeping track of how many successes and failures you have throughout this encounter. Just to let you know, failure state just means that you encounter an obstacle. It could be as simple as the doors being shut in front of you or being tasked to do something else to prove yourselves. A success has many different benefits, from being allowed entry to personal audience with the Jarl themselves, or even further benefits beyond that, depending on how far we get here. For our case, you got a critical, I shouldn't use critical, a greater success. You went 5 above the DC I had in mind. Just make sure. What was the final total one more time?
25 with Flash of Genius, because I really wanted to make sure that if that threshold's lower, Eddie and I can then finagle our way through.
Okay. So, for our case and purposes, you get 2 points towards what you're doing here. Guess I can actually track it in here. And I'm just going to use an obscenely high tracker.
And Eddie, I got nothing left after that with Flash of Genius, unless I can. I didn't get a chance to. We didn't get a rest for my staff, did we? I'm trying to think. Not my staff, my item. Give me one moment.
A short rest is the only thing that's happened thus far.
That's what I'm trying to remember because I did have my spell storing item and I originally had it for invisibility. I'm just trying to remember when we met Bjorn, I had invisibility beforehand for that reason. And then
I
I just
think
never
this is
changed
still
it.
the same day.
Gross. All right.
In fairness, it's like we've gone several months on the same day
Yeah.
in a
That's
previous
correct.
version of this campaign.
Yes. 2 weeks went by in that one.
That means then potion wise, I'm just having to make sure because I'm keeping track of potions too.
Yep.
I think. Well, actually, technically, I need to re-roll them because I forgot to re-roll them last time. So let me go ahead and do
Right on.
that. But continue as normal. I'll let you know which one I grab.
Bjorn, you were ambushed. Oh, that is a shame. The enemies, they're too cowardly to face you.
And the man gives a solemn stare at the at your injured ally and just says,
It is fine. You do not need to speak with your words. Your actions will tell the story.
and looking towards Seer, the creature will ask you,
God gifted. Bjorn has put his name down. Bjorn has put his name behind you and your actions. Must ask of you, what news do you have of Boreas? What is his affliction? What is the cure?
Okay, so before I give my answer, above table, and this is just for Mega and me to remember, his ailment for Boreas specifically has essentially been that he's not allowed to sleep. Is that would it be accurate? He's not been able to rest at all, if I remember Mega.
Yes, that was like one of the main things. He hasn't been able to sleep, and they have been. Well, consequently, there's also been some manipulation to like creating sound and then immediately going to strike it, presumably because he's trying to fucking sleep.
Fair enough. Then this is why I checked too, because Seer's response would be very quite simple.
Mhm.
The ailment that all of you would fall under: fatigue, restlessness. What causes Boreas their ultimate issues is the fact that they cannot slumber once more. They are kept awake, and due to their, I would say, state of mind, one would become violent or hateful towards things that would disturb their rest, which has been happening quite frequently, if I would say so myself.
So,
Flashback to earlier that day.
Yeah.
so the Northern Gale he is sick, poisoned, cursed.
Annoyed.
Eddie
But
will
go ahead.
lean in. Eddie will lean in. It is possible that there may be a magical or illness affliction, but that would require closer inspection. But that is the primary issue, is the exhaustion.
Let me rephrase then for you, Eddie. For my answer, I would say annoyance. But reality is, it could be an illness, a curse, magical influence, but we need to investigate further. I would need to, me personally, be able to look at them more directly. And that would make a lot of sense because a great being such as his size could not just be disturbed by something so small. It has to be something of a magical, illness of some sort.
You hear one of them curse, "Utak!" And looking towards each other, the one that swore just says, "Lysail, she must know. Quiet." Looking back at you, "I apologize. Please, we must know more. What cure do you have?"
In my case, I don't have a cure yet till I can do a couple more pieces on my end to solve it, because we don't want multiple cures. We want one good cure that could give him a good night's rest.
Mention that between the two of us, we are an herbalist and an alchemist capable of putting together any number of potential cures.
And Seer will do so. I say this for I am an alchemist, and my assistant is a proficient herbalist. We do not want to cause harm to your forest by doing the wrong things. We need to make this right the first time.
What do you think you have that our shaman does not? An alchemist, herbalist. And he looks towards Bjorn. It looks like there's uncertainty in his eyes.
Knowledge. I'm
And
not
access to
saying
ingredients and resources they haven't encountered before.
Seer will say the same thing, and then we'll add to it. We are not trying to outshine your shaman. We are here to work with them. If they have things that we do not know, we will share with what we know, and we work together to fix the issue.
That's
This is
impossible! She's quiet!
This is
am
a
skeptical
collaboration.
of what you can bring. Show me your power. What can you do?
Ah, shit. He wants me to do a feat of strength, isn't he? Or a feat of power.
Testing your metal.
That's the big thing. It's the problem is Seer very much has shown their mettle by just fixing the problem. Being like, hey, there's a plague. All right, cool. Fix it. Have everybody drink this.
We just need to impress them, right?
I think you can do that. And I'll support. Worst case scenario, I can show my mettle by having them strike me. It might be surprising to watch them.
It's like it actually specifically asked, do you require a specific feat or just simply anything that proves a capability?
Seer will say that exactly.
Yep.
And just wait patiently, not impatient at all. They just look at them, wanting to show their worth.
If you are not a warrior, then show me what a herbalist and an alchemist can do. Show me something greater than what the shaman can show us.
Hey, Gray, I've been wanting to, roll those potions just now.
Those...
I just want to imagine...
Yep, okay, gotcha.
Go ahead.
Yep, no, I got you. You said potions. All right.
I was just going to literally just say it's like they'll just brew potions right in front of them with no, too much. But the big thing, too, I think... I don't want to be weird to say this because, I don't want to fucking fight a frost giant. Let's be real, guys. That would be fucking terrible. But I feel like the most appropriate answer to Seer when they hear that, it's like, I am capable of defending myself. I am capable of doing many things. I am a doctor, an alchemist first, though. I can show you how quickly I can make things. I have many tools in my expertise. And, well, why don't we have your shaman come forth and possibly be the judge? They are the one that wants to aid Boris. I want to help them.
You see the other giant wants to speak, but this time, like at the mention of the shaman, the one that you've been speaking to is glaring at him. Back at you. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you both show a feat and get some successes here, it will be smooth sailing. But, risk and reward and all that.
I am not very charismatic. I am very just like technical. So if they want something flashy, that's what makes it sad.
If you want to do your potions, you would offer a hand to examine and ingest it.
Well, I'm down for that.
Which one would you give the giant?
Well, here's the beautiful thing. So based off what I rolled, and I posted it there, I rolled a 3, a 6, and a 3.
Okay.
And another 6. I'm planning to use 2 level 2 spell slots to combine.
Yep.
Instead of having 4 potions, I'll have 2 potions instead.
Yep.
And both of them are going to have the resilience, so they're going to feel tougher.
Okay.
However, if these are frost giants, we are dealing with people that are very much metal, people that test their power in metal. So I think what would throw them off the most, that would be quite exquisite for a giant of their size. They never flew before.
Okay.
So it'd be resilience and flight.
So, as you craft this potion, what does it look like? How do you craft on the spot? Well, let's say that this is why you did the potions for the initial roll. Like, what does this look like?
Seer will pull out their tools. Unfortunately, could not fix them. Bye, Luia. Is since it's like, an alchemist kit, portable one. You just see them kind of like just slap ingredients together. They just pull from pouches, bottles, and things in rapid succession. You just see them like going through the motions as if on the field, if they had to make something, they had to make it within that moment to help someone.
Yep.
But at the last moment, and I think this would be something that Eddie would see, instead of having like Bunsen burners or things that would like slow people down, she just holds the bottles in their hand and they just rapidly boil. They go through, titration of things. And then the final ingredient, you just see her like specifically go for something like strange. They go for like that scar on their cheek. If Seer has this like cut on their face. And they kind of like use their thumb and you just see them do this weird like slap at it. And then you just see a little bit of this like glowing amber color of things. Essentially, Seer constantly will use themselves to kind of like imbue their potions by cutting on their cheek. And then they will just put a little bit of like, essentially their blood into the potion itself. And with a violent puff, you just see it erupt in this beautiful smoke. And then she bottles it up.
He takes a potion, sniffs at it, drinks it, and again, it's like... I'm trying to think of a comparable size. Yeah, it'd be much like Andre the Giant holding like a can, like a soda can. Like, if he wanted to close his hand, it would completely cover your concoction. But using index, middle finger, and thumb, just takes a drink of it, drinks it completely, and slowly begins to fly in the air. And you will hear him say, "Shaman is capable of casting this, but I have never seen it brewed in a potion before. This is indeed great."
You should also be hardier, as if you look upon your skin, it should be reflective of your personality. That would harden you.
Yeah.
It'd be also a +1 AC, so you can describe it as you wish.
And just to make sure I have the effect in my head, this gives a resistance towards damage as well? Or is it just the +1 AC?
It's just a +1 AC,
Okay,
but
gotcha.
the flight
Understood.
is, even though it's slow, it's huge. 10, feet on fly speed for 10 minutes. That's essentially levitate, but you could move
Yeah.
wherever you want.
Reason why it's important is you might hear like them slip information depending on the effect. But if it's just flight and a +1 AC, you see that you gained his approval. Again, flight is amazing, but dual effects is something completely different. He has not seen a spell like this before. Eddie, do you have anything to show off, you circus animal? Dance, monkey, dance.
You circus animal.
Seer will translate it in the Seer fashion. So if Eddie's doing like a grand speech, Seer, unfortunately not being as grand, will be like, yes, look at my grand arms. Watch me dazzle you.
Like Eddie, I'm not sure if this is the best or the worst use of this kind of situation, but like we are kind of looking for the easy pass. It's like Eddie will offer for Sia to translate. It's like and like Eddie will say, and you can put it as you need to.
Mhm.
It's like your assistant has the capability of being completely unharmed by even the mightiest of giants' power.
Whoa.
Seer will look to the giant, as they know about frost giant culture, and just say, I bet you can't hurt my assistant.
A look over his eyes. Gives a nod to the loudmouth that's been letting slip things here and there. Wields a mighty icy great axe. And unless I'm misinterpreting this, he's going to attempt to attack you, Eddie. What do you have in mind?
Like Eddie immediately creates the smallest wall of force he possibly can, which
Oh
is
my God.
invisible. Meaning that no matter what damage output that he can possibly do, it will not make the wall and by extension Eddie budge. And because it's invisible, he doesn't know where it's coming from or why it's happening.
I'm going to give you a little bit of information here. That's you, the player, seeing like one of the attacks that these creatures are capable of. And for our sake, I'm going to say it hits. Doesn't do any damage. I'm still going to roll the damage as if it did.
This will be useful information. How hard can these guys hit?
Yeah, so again, goes in with the first hit and is confused. It bounces off your force wall, and you feel as if the impact, like it creates a plume of snow around you. You feel as if you would have been pushed away by the attack and tumbled onto the ground. And that, depending on how bad you roll, you could go as far as 30 feet away from this fucker. So,
jeez,
it's a hefty blow. It's BAM! And there's a grin on his face, and once it clears, he's confused to see you.
Oh, is that all you have?
And raises up again in the same 6-second interval here. Does another one. For 12d6 damage total. That's a 25-21. Going against the shield, and it bounces off again. Boom! And
I hate to say this. Maybe give it one more shot. Really, you really just need to, show us your might. I honestly can tell you, and I wasn't lying. I bet you can't hurt my assistant. I know with me you can, but them, no.
you see red entering his eyes. At this point, the other giant begins to step away a distance. You do the same.
To Eddie or to
you. The
Um,
giant is looking at the look of the other giant and seeing the red in their eyes, begins to step away, roughly like 15, 20 feet away. Give him space.
Nope, I don't move. I just hold my ground.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna make Bjorn a little bit useful here. And I'm going to say, like, as things like go on, the creature, the giant who's testing out Eddie, begins to swing wildly with his great axe, just with cleaving sweeps. And with his reach, it is going all over the place, all around him. And each creature within 15 feet would be making dexterity saving throw. I'm going to be saying on your part that this is going to be treated as if it's evasion, because your ally is going to be providing you cover and taking a brunt of the assault.
I would actually rather ask a better question for you.
Yep.
So you're saying that he is wielding. I'm doing a melee attack. It's a dexterity save, but essentially he's meleeing at me. Correct?
What he is doing next is not considered a melee attack.
Sad, because I was gonna show him force back, but
essentially this is an action that the creature can do, and it begins to swing around wildly. I just need you to make me a dexterity saving throw. Our dear friend Bjorn is going to be he's not going to be making it. He's actively giving you cover to provide you advantage on the roll here.
Wait, providing cover or providing advantage?
Both. He is basically acting as a meat shield. Yeah, we're being a little unorthodox with this. Yeah.
In other words, Sierra, an advantage dexterity saving throw, then I guess +2 or +5, depending.
I'll say +2 with
kind
this.
of just figuring out. Let's see what we get, because unfortunately he's about to bring the ire of Seer, as he's about to just swing wildly and hurt someone else. But let's just see, as my dexterity sucks. Here we go.
Okay.
If it's that, it would be an 18 instead,
All right.
because of the -1 I mentioned of exhaustion.
Yeah. You pass. You're just going to take half damage on this. No additional effects happen. But you see Bjorn get knocked to the ground and take full damage here. Nope. Sorry. It's not rigged properly, but it's fine. Holy shit. 30 for 40-12. And that is all slashing damage is what it should be. So in your case, you're taking a 15. For Bjorn's case, he's taking a full 30. You have a look at Bjorn one more time. It's been seconds since I looked at his stat block. I know he's fully healed. Dear boy, why can't I find you? You are. Holy shit.
He is lost.
Alright. So. That's not correct. And then. There we go. He's not bloodied, but he does get knocked onto the ground. And he is just bleeding right in front of you. But, as you see this creature beginning to cool down and taking, like, heavy breaths, he sheathes his weapon and shakes his head. And the other one that you were speaking to begins to come back and look at Bjorn and Seer and just asks,
Are you hurt
What matters to me does not. Bjorn is. I need to repair them immediately, and I am not very happy with the fact of one going wild.
It was your words that sent him into it. You must watch your tongue.
I
You should know
understand that
we are
greatly.
proud creatures, and we show our strength and brawn whenever it's brought up to question.
Then I will apologize. But for the time being, Seer will pull out a syringe and just stab Bjorn twice.
So, as you do that, because you casted a fairly high-level spell there, and because you expended a resource, Seer, and gifted it to a potential ally enemy, I'm going to say that with no failures and all successes across the board, that they do not hold any obstacles before you. There are no tasks that they ask you to do to prove your mettle. You have shown it. They split open for you and allow you to be in between them. So one person leading, two people behind you. And
Good to know.
unless you guys say or do anything else, they begin to ferry you along to the Grand Hall.
I am down with that. Let me just make sure I fix Bjorn. So I'm just doing this
Okay.
spell first, +6.
All right.
And I'm casting it twice. Because why not?
Yeah. Let's see it. Or you set them on fire.
Let's go ahead and cast this twice. Because essentially, not only do I get a +6 because of healing words and my spell modifier, but because I'm also an alchemist, I could just make it +6 again.
Oh, yeah. Very nice. All right. And the 16 and 18, not bad for first level healing word.
I fixed him entirely from all the damage he took.
Yep. Fully healed. Oh, what words do you say?
Oh, I always describe healing word never as words. I just stab
Okay,
them with a
just-
syringe and being
just
like,
straight
if you really want me to
syringe.
say a word, I could just straight up look at him and be like,
Hmm.
boo-boos go away. I don't want to actually say that.
All right. You enter the Grand Hall. And give me one moment here. Sure. Fix that. Fix that. There. Back. And let's adjust the scene here. I'm going to put Bjorn on the map. Eddie. And Seer, you can reposition yourselves where you want. There are not this many giants in the room. And in fact, board is not there. Is there positioning with one to your west, two to your south on the west and east side. We hear the clanking of the great axe, and it's trying to think of it. It's not a polearm, but you get its shaft. You hear the shaft of the great axe pounding into the ground, echoing, and the giant announces again in giant. Jarl Mervak, or Merkfar. Fuck, Jarl Merkfar.
They have shown us their mettle. They wish to speak to you. And there's silence for a little bit. You still hear the ringing, and then you hear the footsteps. Doom, 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 doom. And standing before you is the Jarl. And he just looks down at all of you. Merkvar says, What? What are your names? What are your deeds?
Eddie, you go first, and I'll say my things after.
I guess Eddie trying to figure what would actually be of import in their culture. I guess the way maybe I guess this is technically true. It's like Eddie will state. My name is Eddie Hayes, toppler of many leaders.
Strokes his beard at that, and Seer, before I have a chance to translate, he nods in understanding.
Is that so?
Looking towards Seer.
Seer will say their full name, which Eddie now will be able to fully understand. Seer Aurora Griffith, as healer and fixer of many plagues, such as the one that occurred not far from here, and savior of many that would be seen as scourges of the land.
Scratches his beard. And we'll ask you,
What do you know of the Northern Gale?
and you've heard that term in reference to Boreas, mentioned by the other giants.
It strikes all that walk upon the surface.
Sierra will translate that for them.
Again, towards you, Seer. It seems like he nods in understanding before you have a chance to translate. But as you translate, he doesn't nod, but allows you to speak.
And some things, but I would like to know more. For anyone that is in pain and ailment, I need to assist, but it does give me reminiscence of the Watchers.
The Watchers see all and know all, as it is said.
And other giants repeat, as it is said.
It is a sign that he attacks everything and everyone. It is a sign that he is disappointed with us all. It is a sign that we should not be watering our lands. We should be showering it with blood.
I would say that'd be unfortunate for, as you already know, of one that follows the oath of the doctor, the aid, and those that wish to bring no harm upon people. I wish for no blood to be shed. However,
I have never heard of such a thing. A shaman's duty is to keep warriors up in battle.
hence why I was about to say, however, I understand your culture of that, because battle is in your blood.
And it boils.
Such would mine be if I did not contain as much as I can, but I am not like my kind, who are a lot more, as I would say, brazen, burning, a lot more hot-headed.
I must ask, what brings you here? God gifted,
And sneers towards Eddie.
small folk. What brings you to our fortress? As to brazenly walk in here. What do you seek? Glory? Treasure?
Final end, and you see him gripping his weapon a little harder at that.
Reality, it is for two reasons. Like the first, it is as we told those under your command. We are here to see the condition of Boreas and possibly return him to as he once was. We have insights as to the root cause of it. But we must look into the matter personally to confirm it and then to possibly reverse it.
Looking towards the giant that has brought you in.
And they think they are stronger than our shaman?
And the giant bounces his head shoulder to shoulder.
They are strong. But are they stronger? Do not understand. What can you possibly do that she cannot?
I don't want to be insulting of one's pride, but they have not been able to fix Boris, have they?
As you finish that, make me a perception around the room. And just to keep Mavet included here, I'm going to say the doors are open, so that's a -5.
There's just an
Disadvantage.
invisible
Yeah,
horse.
I'm giving him something, all right? It's coming into effect here. Disadvantage on the
No,
fucking
it's just
perception.
funny to thinking about like while this conversation's happening, there's
Yeah,
there's like an
fucking
invisible neighing horse flying around in the wind.
Yeah.
So, before I do the roll, perception because I'm trying to see something going on in the room, or is
Yeah.
it like insight where I had to read the room?
No. Just to notice something.
I ain't good at this. We're gonna find out.
Is this a both situation or
You can do it too. I'll gift it.
I got a 16.
With disadvantage?
Oh, is it disadvantage?
Yes, because I'm allowing the horse that's making tornado with open doors to affect this roll.
Oh, no, I rolled it normal. All right, let me roll it again.
Hear a distant neigh.
Yes,
Oh.
I still got a 16.
Okay. 16. And let me see you, Eddie. Just give me a perception check. Disadvantage. Okay. 16 is sufficient. You're looking around the room. There's a bit of flurry in here, and you start to see that the frost giants, excluding the leader that you're talking to, the Jarl, are beginning to shiver. Their knees are shaking a little bit at this topic. Continue forth. What was the last thing that you finished off with?
They have not been able to fix Boris.
No. But she has been trying. I tell you! And looking at, not even towards you, everybody else in the room. She is trying. Try throwing swords, axes, arrows at Boreas to fix him. No, you cannot. She is working hard.
Then
Do or do not. There is no try.
indeed.
There's a sneer across his face. And you're starting to see the tattoos begin to glow with a fire. Starting to turn red and orange. And he's taking deep breaths.
If your soldiers told you in response to a command to make an attack, and their response is, I will try, would you accept it?
There's only silence. You know he's taking your point. His nostrils flare, and he breathes deep.
There is only a living enemy and a dead enemy.
Then, what I offer, with the assistance of my friend here, pointing to Eddie, I am not to outshone your shaman. I am there to assist so that their ultimate goal is that we fix them. Not try, we fix them.
You will not do this alone.
Never.
You will not take her glory.
And he looks towards, again, the person that brought you in.
Bring her to us. Bring down the shaman.
And at this point, things get a little quiet in the room. And nobody is moving. And you're starting to see sweat come down Frost Giant's face at that order.
Are you deaf? I said, bring her to me, not stare at me.
He keeps staring. And his eyes look towards the floor. And at this point, the tattoos, they become black.
Do not make me repeat myself a third time.
And you hear, very softly, gone.
Speak with your chest, boy. Jarl, Merkvar. She is gone. Gone? Gone where? She is not here. We've just checked her room. She was not there. She's not in the fort. We've been looking for her. Then why are you here?
And you just hear the shaft hitting the ground with a clang. And as the Frost Giant, looks up, you see the great axe that the Jarl is holding hurled through the air, embedding itself into the giant, and the giant being sent flying back to one of the pillars, embedding the great axe through his body into the wall, and he is just beginning to cough blood. And it is coming down
and a waterfall of crimson. Giant leaps off the platform and comes to the man, and at this point, he holds him by his armor, raises him up slightly. You see that the great axe anchoring him to the wall gets dragged down his body, and he just says, close to him, to his ear, "You will find my mother, and you will find her now." And we're going to end the session there. Thank you guys so much for joining me today.
This has been House Common Blood. The intro and outro music is Oh My Dog by Savick, and any other music and sound effects used in the episode are royalty free. Credits can be found in the episode description. Please review us on whatever podcast listening app you happen to be using. And if you like us, tell other people. Word of mouth is the best way for us to grow. Thank you for joining us. Stay connected.